Next topic is partnership. Indian Partnership Act 1932 defines the partnership as partnership is a relation between persons who have agreed to share profit of business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. This is the definition of partnership. Now, features of the partnership. At least two members are required to start the firm partnership. In this firm, there is unlimited liability of the partner. Every partner has an unlimited liability. Third, every partner contributes his share in the capital. Fourth, the existence of the partnership firm depends on the pleasure of the partners. Fifth, according to the agreement, every partner contributes his share in the capital, but it is not necessary that every partner should contribute equally. Mutual cooperation and mutual confidence is a very important factor for the successful operation of partnership firm. And the last is that one partner or any partner can transfer his share to another with the consent of the another partners. Next is advantages of partnership firm. A very less formalities are required for the starting of the partnership firm. Second, decision making is easier as less persons are in the firm. More capital can be introduced in the business as the members are more, so capital increases. So partners are the owners of the business. So each of them has equal right to participate in the management of the business. Next is disadvantages of the partnership firm. See, first is that there is an unlimited liability of each partner. All the partners of the firm are responsible for the bad debits or bankrupts or losses. Second, there is no continuity of existence, or you can say there is a less chances of continuity of existence, because if any partner dies, then there are chances that firm may be closed. In this, the total number of partners cannot exceed beyond 20. That is, the maximum number of partners is up to 20. And the last disadvantage is that in the partnership firm, a partner cannot transfer his share to any other person without taking the consent of the another partner. Now, next is the types of the partners. First is active or managing partner. This is the partner who takes active part in the management of the business. He also contributes his share in the capital, but he takes active part in the business. Second is a sleeping partner. This is the partner who does not take active part in the management of the business, but he contributes in the capital and he shares the profit and loss. Third is the nominal partner. This is the partner who lends his name to the firm, but his name is used in that firm, but he do not share the profit or losses of the firm. He simply lends his name to the firm. Fourth is the secret partner. This partner takes the active interest in the business, but public doesn't know that he is a partner of that firm. Fifth is the partner in profit only. These are the partners who are responsible in the profit only. They are not responsible for the losses. They take their share according to their they take their share as per the profit. Six is the minor partner. A minor is only admitted in the profits of the business only. He has no liability of loss, but minor has the right to inspect the accounts of the books. And the seventh and the last type of partner is senior partner. This partner plays an important role in the management or in the management of the business. Because he is a senior member, he plays an important role according to his ability, seniority and experience. And he has a prominent position in the firm. So this was the partnership firm. Next is joint stock company. So joint stock company is defined as a joint stock company is a voluntary association of individuals for profit, having a capital divided into transferable shares, the ownership of which is the condition of membership. This is the definition. Now, features of the joint stock company. This company comes into existence according to the Indian Companies Act 1956. It is necessary to have the registration of the company. Second is that it is an association of many persons on a voluntary basis. Third, it has a separate legal entity. It can be sued and it sues. Fourth, a large amount of capital can be introduced in this joint stock company because there are large members in the company. Fifth, so the operation of joint stock company is generally on large scale because a large amount of capital is there. So operation is in large scale. Now the advantages of joint stock company. First is the liability of the member is limited to the extent of its share. Second, in joint stock company, it is easy to transfer the share. Third, the numbers of persons contributing to capital are more. Hence, it is easy to raise the amount. Fourth, there are chances of frauds because the membership and the ownership is different. Board of management is different and membership is different. In this, a lot of money is invested on research and development for the production improvement, for the product quality improvement. Disadvantages of joint stock company. See, in this, it is necessary to have the registration according to Indian Companies Act 1956. So there are very certain more formalities are there for the registration of the company. Sometimes self-interest or incorrect management may include malpractices in the company. There is no secrecy because every decision is taken in the board of management, so secrecy cannot be maintained. Quick decisions cannot be taken. So these were the disadvantages of joint stock company. Joint stock company is generally of two types: public company and private company. In private company, minimum 2 members are required to frame the company and maximum number is 50. Whereas in public company, minimum 7 members are required and the maximum number has no limit. Now next is the cooperative societies. A cooperative society is an autonomous association of persons who work together to promote their economic interest. Generally, these cooperative societies are framed by the weaker section of the society. Their aim, their motto is to provide service. They sell their products at a very cheap price. Features of the cooperative societies. First is that it is totally based on the voluntary membership. Second, it is self-governing. Like a company, a cooperative society also enjoys a separate entity. Third, in cooperative society, share capital contributes only a limited source of finance because the people, the member which who are the people who are the members of this society, they come from the weaker section of the society. So finance is less, capital is less. The primary objective of the society is to provide the service to the members. Now, advantages of cooperative societies. First is this: a very less legal formalities are required to start the cooperative society. Liability of the member is limited in the cooperative societies. Membership of the cooperative society is open to everyone. No one is debarred on the basis of the color, race, or position. The motto of the society is that to provide the goods on cheap basis. They purchase the goods from the manufacturer or producer at cheap rates and sell that goods at the cheap rates to their members. Disadvantages of the cooperative society. Its success depends upon the spirit of the cooperation of all the members. Second, the major disadvantage is that the prevalence of the corruption in the cooperative societies. Third, secrecy cannot be maintained because every decision is taken in the meeting. Fourth is that you see that in this their motto is to sell the product at a cheaper rate. So margin of profit is less. So the members or the board of management committee gets a very less profit. So motivation is very less. So here we finish our chapter, Forms of Business Organization. Thanks. Take care.